We meet on the Aries full moon, the day of the full moon as it closes the day of safeguarding. I come forth, and from the plane of mind I rule. Let us align with the planetary influences to inform the days of distribution that follow as we open to the energies of Aries as an esoteric group.
Sorry, I had my eyes closed. There are many types of minds. It should be remembered that all people are units of consciousness, breathed forth on one of the 7 emanations from God. Therefore, even their monads or spiritual aspects are inherently different, just as in the prism, which is one, there are 7 differentiated colors. Even this is so only because of the nature and point of view and the perceiving apparatus of the man whose eye registers and differentiates the varying rates of vibratory light. These 7 subsidiary groups again produce a varying outlook, mentality, and approach, all equally right, but all presenting a slightly different angle of vision. When the above realization is coupled to such factors as the different points in evolution, varying nationalities and characteristics, the inherent distinctions brought about through the interplay between the physical body involved and the environment, it will be apparent that no approach to such abstruse subjects as the nature of spirit and soul could have a general definition and submit themselves to a universal terminology.
In Aries, one of the 4 keynotes, unity through effort. Let us endeavor through our effort to unify in the soul consciousness all of humanity. At this time, the Festival of the Christ, it's important for us to remember, as DK tells us, and enlarges somewhat upon the 3 modes of the Christ appearing, of his coming, his advent, and of his physical recognition by humanity. The first, by his overshadowing of all initiates and disciples who are today and will be at the time of his arrival active in the 3 worlds of human evolution. This involves his influencing their minds telepathically. This overshadowing or influencing will be his primary work upon the mental plane. This will constitute one of his most effective methods in his proposed spiritual interference in world affairs. Through the medium of these members or affiliates of the hierarchy, he will have outposts of his consciousness in every nation. Through them, he can work.
Energy follows thought. We are not dealing here with the simple statement that thought power is an energy and that the process of thinking generates automatically an energy which produces objective forms, induces related action, and is the source, therefore, of all that appears or manifests. This is a platitude today, and humanity is increasingly aware of the subjective power of thought and of its consequences, objective realization. We are to concern ourselves with that which lies behind the mental perception of the ordinary man, and with the revelation which comes to the initiate disciple as he stands within the ashram and perceives, as a result of the initiatory process, the nature of the divine plan as it can be seen working out on various planes of our planetary existence.
Three things which the initiate knows as the new panorama, the revelation, unfolds in flashing light before him. The point of tension which precedes revelation. There is much to be considered in relation to tension as the forerunner of initiation and its subsequent revelation. The stillness by which the revealing vision is surrounded, if I may so inadequately express the idea. The revelation is given to the initiate as if there was nothing in all the world but himself, a point of tension, and a vortex of force which takes form before his eyes, revealing to him an inevitable but future activity. The level upon which the revelation, apprehended at the highest possible point of consciousness for the initiate, must eventually be materialized or brought into being.
I'm sorry, there was some difficulty with the audio, so I'm going to read this again. Three things which the initiate notes as the new panorama being the revelation as it unfolds in flashing light before him or her. There is the point of tension which precedes revelation. There is much to be considered in relation to tension as the forerunner of initiation and its subsequent revelation. Pause for a moment. Consider in your own life and in the group life on the subjective level, achieving a point of tension to precede any revelation. Then consider the stillness by which the revealing vision is surrounded. So that at the point in which the vision emerges, there is nothing but the point of tension and a vortex of force that takes form as the vision, revealing an inevitable future activity. And then the revelation, this panorama, apprehended at the highest possible point of consciousness, that must eventually be materialized, brought into being. As we endeavor to be able to create, to attend to reach a vision, not only as individuals, but as groups. Keep this process, these three particular things the DK gives us in mind. I come forth, and from the plane of mind, I rule. So from the highest point of soul focus, lifting up and creating a vision of the centers, the points of light within your own being, unifying at the highest point. And with the attitude of the observer, we say together, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. And then envision the group Antakarana, the light streaming from each soul into a unified field of the group soul light, extending out, and the light and bridge growing with the light of each initiate of the first degree, and then those higher. The blue-white light streaming upward across the plane of the higher mind, touching the spiritual triad with intensity of purpose from a new point of tension, extending to the Christ, the Maitreya, along the ray lives, potently impacting humanity. In Aries, I assert the fact the highest and the lowest meet. The highest light controls. Two merge with one on a great field. The color of the second ray, unifying all through effort. I see the greatest light. Allowing us each to draw down into our service the potency of love wisdom to manifest in all of our groups under the bridging power of the new group of world servers. Within the fire of mind focused within the head's clear light, let the group stand. The burning ground has done its work. The clear, cold light shines forth, and cold it is. And yet the heat evoked by the group love permits the warmth of energetic moving out. Behind the group there stands the door, before us opens out the way. Together, let the band of brothers onward move out of the fire into the cold, and toward a newer tension. That we may be part of the new group of world servers, this subjective group of spiritual agents bridging between hierarchy and humanity, merging the science of the centers, the science of the triangles, and the science of the rays in the great triangle of our planet, Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity. Focusing this point of tension as the Christ begins to share the plans that are developed for his coming, the plan for humanity. And we connect with the new group of world servers. May the power of the one life pour through the group of all true servers. May the love of the one soul characterize the lives of all who seek to aid the great ones. May we fulfill our part in the one work through self-forgetfulness, harmlessness, and right speech. In Aries, we move out the new beginning, the beginning of a new sensitivity. For Aries is the birthplace of divine ideas, whether these ideas are souls brought into incarnation and controlled by Mars until they reach the point of reorientation and become sensitive to the influence of Mercury, or whether they are the birth of the ideas of God in the form of the hierarchical plans to which the initiate becomes sensitive. We stand at that point, the dawning of the new age. Master DK tells us that not only has the individual approach to the hierarchy been superseded by a group approach, but it is now found to be possible to make a certain measure of the training objective and exoteric, which our groups are endeavoring to do. Hence, the establishment of the new group of world servers, the Planetary Ajna Center, a subjective group. This is primarily a group which, while working on the outer plane of daily physical living, yet preserves a close ashramic integration. It thus provides a field of service for accepted disciples who are seeking service expression. And it is providing a rallying point for all determined aspirants where they can be tried out and where their motives and persistence can be tested prior to direct acceptance. Telepathic communicators, the trained observers, the magnetic healers, the cultural service and educators, the political organizers, those working in the field of religion to purify and create the new world religion, the scientific servers, psychologists, those working in finance and economics, and the creative workers. We find these representatives in every organism that is objectively working on the physical plane at this time, trying to bring soul consciousness into those organisms and institutions that are designed to create the new culture, the new civilization. So we merge our efforts. Some are working consciously, some are working unconsciously. That through these triangles, in our groups, subjectively, let us endeavor for unity through effort. Each of these groups has an inner counterpart. This inner counterpart is a complete whole. The outer results are still only partial. These 10 inner groups forming one group are related to the ashrams of the masters and are each of them expressive of or governed by 10 laws, embodying the controlling factors in group work. Knowing a law is an expression or manifestation of force, all working under the law of love, the will to love, as the will to good, as goodwill. DK goes on to say that these 10 inner groups, 10 types of force and working synthetically to express these 10 laws, are an effort to bring in new and different conditions and hence produce a new and better civilization. The Aquarian age will see the consummation of this work. We are on the precipice as we move forward in 2025. The outer groups are a tentative and experimental effort to see how far humanity is ready for such an endeavor. All 10 of these seed groups are unified through the head center. Thus, the importance of the energies of Aries in this unifying process. I come forth, and from the plane of mind, I rule.
Seen from the inner side, where time is not, the human creature demonstrates as an amazing kaleidoscopic mutable phenomena. Bodies, so-called, or rather aggregates of atomic units, fade out and disappear, or flash again into manifestation. Streams of colors pass and repass. They twine or intertwine. Certain areas will then suddenly intensify their brightness and blaze forth with brilliance. Or again, they can be seen dying out, and a phenomenon in certain areas will be colorless and apparently non-existent. But always there is a persistent, overshadowing light from which a stream of lights pours down into the phenomenal man. This can be seen attaching itself to two major locations, to the dense inner core of the physical man. These 2 points of attachments are found in the head and in the heart. There can also be seen, dimly at first, but with increasing brightness, 7 other pale discs of light, which are the early evidence of the 7 centers.
All of our groups unified through the head center. Let us pause and link our heart centers with the mantra of love. In the center of love we stand, not shall deflect our will to embody love as the will of God, the will to love. We stand together in service. Let us stand as the triangle divine, head, heart, and ajna center, to work out the will of God, the will to love, in the square of manifestation. Linking head, heart, and ajna center. In all activities, to serve as telepathic communicators. We build and project the anticorona. The anticorona, quote, a reflection, a conscious, focused attitude carried forward in all life circumstances, which automatically registers the events conditioning the life of humanity. It therefore creates a stream of ascending energy, which is tinctured by the life quality and the ray characteristics of the group personnel. Along this stream, both the ascending and the descending life quality and ray characteristics can pass at will, and the disciple will increasingly register the things of the Spirit. He will consequently acquire the facility to penetrate into the world of the hierarchy and reach eventually the door to the way of the higher evolution. He will again consequently function efficiently in the three worlds as the serving disciple, unquote. So let us sound together as one group the mantra of the disciples' degree. May the energy of the divine self inspire us and the light of the soul direct. May we be led from darkness to light, from the unreal to the real, from death to immortality. As we were reminded to follow the teachings of the Buddha, the Lord of Light, as our guide moving forward together, it was noted from the Planetary System blog, the creative thought, clear, orderly, and radiant, gives form to the manifest world and pervades it with the light flowing from the Word. Thus rises the hymn of glory to the Creator, and animated by the renewing momentum of Aries, who kindles this day with its burning impetus. All things abandon their old garb to clothe themselves in the light of the new. We dedicate ourselves to working with the Christ energies to illumine the minds of all with the plan for humanity. Briefly, let us touch the planetary influences. Through the fiery processes of war and strife brought to the individual through the influence of the planetary ruler Mars, the god of war, unneeded purification takes place. Mars, the exoteric ruler, brings fire by friction, and that purification ensues. The same purification, but this time through vision, comes to the developed man and woman through the activity of the subjective ruler of the planet Mercury, the illumining principle which releases the mind, directs the way of man through life, and enables us to become aware of the divine plan which underlies all fiery experience. Mercury, the soul ruler, bringing solar fire, vision, and illumination. The duality of the experience of humanity in Aries. Then through Uranus, the hierarchical ruler, relating Aries to Aquarius, the sign of world service, leading humanity to death and liberation in Pisces. It is these relationships with which esoteric astrology and we deal with the new astrology. The universal can be grasped and the particular understood. The human being in this eventual recognized group relationship and the group relationships, knowing these are of more importance than our individual lives. So we move out of the old astrology, which elucidates those for individuals, for it only determines the little destiny and the unimportant fate. And we move into greater understanding of the new astrology, for it indicates our group usefulness and the scope of our potential consciousness. With Mars dealing at an instinctual level, trapped in matter, individualization occurs and vision develops through aspiration. With visualization, humanity develops and has developed intellect, which leads to spiritual vision under the influence of Mercury, and inspiration through that vision on the path of ascent. To our recognitions, recognizing our pledged discipleship, recognizing the soul, the source of love, wisdom, recognizing our achieved alignment, recognizing the hierarchy, and our growing affiliation as members of the new group of world servers to work on this subjective level and to be able to achieve connectivity with the rain cloud of knowable things, the intuitional level of the Buddhic plane, and then the revelation the revelations that proceed to an eventual universal vision. Humanity achieving initiation. Through the return of the Christ. The location of the point of revelation is on the mental plane, through the alignment of the concrete lower mind, the son of mind, and the abstract mind. Three minds unite, relating us to the fifth kingdom and the kingdom of souls. At that point, a direct channel for vision is created. The medium of revelation at the third initiation is the Antakarana, which we are told is rapidly being constructed and can thus prove the connecting link and the esoteric mode of vision. The instrument of receptivity is the third eye, and it is temporarily suspended from its task of directing energy upon the physical plane, and then becomes a stationary, receptive organ turned inward toward the higher light. The head center, Aries, is involved, remembering that the head center connects all of the seed groups. And then a secondary alignment takes place between the Ajna center, the head center, and the soul body. All of this takes place at a high point during the third initiation, when, for the first time in his personal history, the initiate is completely aligned and can function straight through from the head center to the highest point of the spiritual triad. DK tells us we have therefore the reason for then the sudden inflow of transfiguring glory that occurs for those who achieve the third initiation. For us, we need to remember, therefore, that in its lowest manifestation, Aries is the creator of those activities, conditions, and processes which lead to the manifestation of soul through the medium of form, and later of those higher creative undertakings which lead in due time to the manifestation of spirit through the soul. This process we are all engaged in our daily lives through the manifestation of solar fire that we demonstrate in our lives as soul consciousness, and the qualities of our soul vehicles shining forth in all our activities. Aries, at different points along the path of life, forces the soul onto the burning ground and subjects it to a purifying process during incarnation. We know now, as we engage with our fellow men and women, many are dealing with this crisis of the burning ground. Through the lesser fire of the mind, the jungles of experience are set on fire and dissolve in flames. And then the path stands clear for them, and an unobstructed vision is achieved. Let us sound the mantra of unification, bringing together this great group as we move forward into the days of distribution in Aries.
The souls of all are one, and we are one with them. We seek to love, not hate. We seek to serve and not exact due service. We seek to heal, not hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form and life and all events, and bring to light the love that underlies the happenings of the time. Let vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate and outer cleavages be gone. Let love prevail. Let all people love.
Let us endeavor to live internally and externally in the next few days. I come forth, and from the plane of mind, I rule. For DK says if this group, and all of our groups, measures up to the vision as it exists in his mind, there will be established upon the physical plane focal points of specialized force through which the hierarchy can work with greater surety than heretofore. There will, through this and analogous groups, be set in motion on earth a network of spiritual energies which will facilitate the regeneration of the world. So we open to and contemplate these incoming streams of energy from Mars, Mercury, and Uranus into Shambhala as the will to love and the will to good. As we celebrate the festival of Easter and move towards the Wesak, together in group formation, embodying impersonal love, unity through effort, growing in our expression of love wisdom in active service, and being open to the divine ideas through which we create the vision of the beginnings of the new civilization for humanity. Let us sound together the great invocation.
From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little wills of men. The purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, Let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
As we open in these days of distribution, let us, on that subjective level, attain unity through effort and recognize all those serving humanity in all the seed groups, that all of us will be enlightened, receive these divine ideas to be activated as we move forward in the Wesak and continuously shine the light that comes to us from hierarchy into and through the higher centers. Blessings and gratitude.